I didn't say a word when the HOA president waved over the security guard. She jabbed her finger toward my uncle's truck, parked near the clubhouse, yelling something about unauthorized personnel. My uncle didn't argue. He just opened his briefcase, pulled out a laminated badge, and said so quietly I almost missed it, ma'am. Under State Code 305.1, you're currently obstructing an active fire safety inspection. You could have had a pin drop. The guard froze mid. The president's face drained a chalk, and that was the moment I knew. They had no idea who they'd just picked a fight with. We never moved into that subdivision to cause trouble. I bought the house for peace, pure and simple. After 20 years working construction, I wanted a quiet place to settle near family. The neighborhood looked perfect. Tree-lined roads, a small pond, and houses that looked like something out of a magazine. The HOA brochure bragged about community values and preserving harmony. Primera Belibeth, Italiano. I just wanted to grill on weekends, work on my old Ford in the garage, and have my uncle over now and then. He's been a firefighter his whole life, now working as a senior State Fire Marshal. You'd think that'd earn some respect. Instead, it got us targeted. The first sign of trouble came 2 weeks after I moved in. I got a violation notice taped to my mailbox for having a commercial vehicle parked in the driveway. It was my work. Truck white. Clean. No company logos. No ladders. Just a toolbox in the back. They said it detracted from the aesthetic integrity of the neighborhood. Fine. I parked it in the garage. The next week, another letter. Unauthorized exterior modification. Apparently, repainting my shutters violated the approved color palette. They even attached a glossy photo of my own house, with a red circle around the shutters, like I'd committed a crime. I tried laughing it off, but the letters kept coming. Warnings, fines, even threats of lien placement. I started feeling like I'd moved into a dictatorship with manicured lawns. Still, I tried diplomacy. I emailed the board politely, asking for clarification. I attended a meeting, sat through an hour of retirees arguing about trash bins, then waited my turn. I calmly explained that their fine contradicted county property ordinances, and my repainting was within legal rights under the Homeowner Bill of Rights Act. They smiled, nodded, and said they'd review it. The next day, they sent another violation tease. Time for excessive noise. My noise, hammering a loose railing at noon on a Saturday. That's when I realized this wasn't about rules. It was about control. They didn't tee like that. I didn't tee asked permission for every nail I drove into my own home. By the time my uncle came over one afternoon, I'd already decided I wasn't dealing with him emotionally anymore. I was documenting everything, mails, timestamps, even photos of each violation notice still in the envelope. My uncle listened quietly while I vented. Then he said something I'll never forget. They're rewriting checks. They don't realize they can tee cash, but don't fight back yet. Let them set the fire. We'll handle the inspection later. He wasn't joking. It started with the HOA installing their own security patrol, 2 guys in reflective vests driving around in a golf cart with flashing orange lights. They'd stop in front of my house, jot something on a clipboard, then drive off. One day they parked behind my truck while my uncle and I were testing my garage. As new electrical wiring, he was checking my smoke detectors and outlets for me, like he always did. The HOA president saw him in uniform, clipboard in hand, and apparently decided he was posing as an inspector. Within minutes, she came storming down the street, yelling about unauthorized personnel and private property. My uncle tried to explain politely, but under state law, the fire marshal has authority to inspect residential common structures if there's a safety complaint. She cut him off and called security. That's where this story began. When security arrived, the guard asked my uncle to leave before escalation. Instead of arguing, my uncle pulled out his badge and citation book. He said, calm as ever, "Ma'am, I'm going to need access to your clubhouse electrical panel, all sprinkler schematics and last year's inspection logs." I swear, the air changed temperature. The guard blinked like he'd seen a ghost. The president tried to sputter something about private jurisdiction, but my uncle just handed her a printed copy of the state statute authorizing his presence. "You've been operating without a valid inspection certificate for 3 years, he said, "and you've been hosting public events in a structure not cleared for occupancy. That's a liability nightmare. I didn't say a word. I just watched the same woman who defined me for non-compliant lawn edging realize she'd just summoned a state investigator onto her own property. My uncle did a full inspection, took photos, checked sprinklers, tested alarms. He was quiet, methodical, unstoppable. A week, the HOA received a formal notice of multiple code violations, expired fire extinguishers, inaccessible exits, and improper electrical wiring in their clubhouse kitchen. The fine, 5 figures. The order, mandatory closure of all common facilities until compliance. They tried to retaliate. Of course, sent me another notice, this one, claiming my uncle's presence violated community guest policy. I forwarded it straight to the state office, where it joined their investigation folder. Then I got smart. I filed a public records request with the county for every HOA permit, inspection, and zoning variance since 2008. What came back was stunning. The clubhouse had been expanded, illegally no recorded building permit, no electrical approval, nothing. They'd literally built an addition over a drainage easement. The following month, the county's building authority showed up. My uncle was there too, clipboard in hand. He didn't say much. Just oversaw. The county inspectors took photos, issued citations, and flagged the structure for a possible demolition. The HOA president stood there, pale and speechless, as her private jurisdiction crumbled under real law. After that, the board changed its tone. Suddenly, I wasn't a problem homeowner. They dropped my fines, rescinded my violations, even sent a courtesy notice saying I was in good standing. I ignored it. They also tried to quietly repair the clubhouse without permits, but the state had eyes on them now. They were forced to hold emergency elections. The president resigned. The vice president followed. The HOA lawyer quit after the insurance carrier dropped coverage due to misrepresentation of compliance. Now, the neighborhood's different. Quieter. The new board actually follows regulations. They've stopped the petty policing. People wave again. Some neighbors thanked me in private, whispering things like, "We were scared to say anything." My uncle never bragged. He just said, "Sometimes, the fastest way to put out a fire is to let it burn long enough to show where the smoke is coming from." As for the old president, last I heard, she's still trying to appeal the state penalties. Good luck with that. I drive past the clubhouse sometimes, the one that once hosted HOA meetings, where I wasn't even allowed to speak. Now it's locked up, half-gutted, waiting on a compliance permit that'll probably never come. Every time I see it, I remember that day she called security on a man she thought was just my relative, when he was actually the one person legally empowered to shut her entire operation down. Now they don't tape notices to my door anymore. They don't call, they don't email, they don't even make eye contact. And I can finally sit on my porch at dusk, hearing nothing but crickets and the occasional hum of my uncle's truck pulling into the driveway. They wanted control. They got oversight instead. And for the first time since I moved in, this place is finally fireproof.